I think we live in a world where so many women are caught up in this idea that you have to be a certain way and you have to look a certain way and you have to be small and you have to be skinny. And I just don't ascribe to that. There's so much more to me than being skinny. Like I want to show up in the world with like, I want to be strong. I want to have a presence in the world that's not timid and behind and small and quiet. But I feel like the lifting weight aspect and being strong aspect, it physically makes me stand a little bit taller, and so I know emotionally and relationally with people that I know and don't know, I feel like there's a confidence and a strength in that.
Don't be discouraged if you don't look like them. So whether you aren't white or black, being a Mexican female, stepping into the gym was a little bit outside of my comfort zone. Being surrounded by, mostly Caucasian people was a little intimidating at first. There's a group of us when we first started, we called ourselves the Lifting Latinas, me and two other Mexican girls who would just lift. I'd make it a point to go hang out with my Lifting Latinas in and outside of the gym.
Since my husband had a stroke, I have to do everything. You know, we always do things together, but I have to do everything. So it's great. I can. I am totally capable, and as my husband says, man, don't mess around with her. I have advanced osteoporosis in my family, and I'm not good. I have all the weights and kettlebells at home, but I don't work out alone. So I joined this gym, and I can say that my osteopenia has improved.
I helped raise both my nephews, and from day one with my youngest nephew, his dad wasn't in the picture, and so I was essentially dad. Both of them, until they were both got to the age of 3 or 4, they didn't know my real name. It was just Unc. As cliche as it is to say, we're raised as boys and men and teenagers to protect and be big and strong for the female, and so to see these females that are like they could be big and strong for you, it's impressive.
Outside of the gym, it's funny because no one knows that kind of stuff. Like no one knows what I clean or no one knows what I snatch or deadlift or press or any of that. But I think that's even why I like it more, because it's like a hidden talent. I want to feel strong and capable, and I want to start at point A and get to point B. I think it's impacted my life in recognizing too, there's seasons for everything. I've had 2 kids, and I realize I don't lift as much as I used to, but it still amps me up when I know I've lifted the most that I've lifted after having this kid, or after this season of life, or I go through something stressful or challenging in life. It's nice to look at how I can come back from that and get back to old numbers. And there's a lot of research around aging and muscle mass now, and I feel ahead of the curve, I guess, that when I get older, I still want to be doing this stuff so that I can reap the benefits of that.
I've done like a deadlift competition, so that was pretty cool. Got a PR for that. My family got to see it, and like that's like exciting. My sister like, oh, my sisters or like my brothers like think that's like cool. They're like, oh, she's strong. Now I can like, oh, I can help you move that. So that's always fun. Or like when you ask the boys, like, oh, I can do that too. Things that I dislike, I guess, is just like comparing myself to maybe like if I was in better shape in the past, or comparing myself to other people. I mean, being a girl and weightlifting is really hard. I mean, you're on your period, it's part of being a female, and the things that we like, just another thing that females go through. I know that I can do hard things in the gym, so that translates I can do other hard things as well. Sometimes you come to the gym and mentally you just don't want to be here, but I know that I'm just going to feel better physically. I am getting stronger, and which translates mentally, I'm just like in a better headspace and just mentally healthier for myself and for everyone else around me.
I've taken a lot of falls and I haven't broken anything. I feel really solid. I have to be careful being 73, the bar over the head. I have chronic back issues from being a hygienist for 43 years. So I have to be really mindful. And then my knees, but it's great being mindful. So it just makes my form better, and I'm all about form. Same with yoga. It's better to go slow and have perfect form so you don't get hurt and you get the benefits from it.
Halting snatch deadlift, followed by one power snatch from the ground, and then one squat snatch from the ground. So my halting snatch deadlift, my barbell is going to start from the floor. I'll come into that halting snatch deadlift where I don't stand all the way up. My butt sticks out. I wrap that barbell around my body. My shoulders stay in front of the bar, and my full foot is on the ground. Then I'll go back down to the ground. We'll go into a power snatch, stand, and then we'll go into a squat snatch. Stand. Okay, that's the complex. We're going to go to an RP of 7 to 8. I know it says 8 on the board, but I like 7 to 8. I don't want it to be super, super heavy, something decently challenging, but we'll call it a primer.
Fit was intimidating at first, even though I'm basically strong and healthy. And then Saturday, I'm not with the older group. So Saturday, we were all intimidated and we would hide in the back because we didn't know how to do over the head presses. So we were self-conscious, and everyone welcomed us so much and applauded us. So now there's no self-consciousness. We're doing the best that we can, and we're doing it, which is really, really great. Yeah, and the other part of my life, it's just, I think at this stage, being older and really accepting and loving myself as I am, this is what you get, and it's a good package. So that's all part of it, taking care of myself and setting boundaries that this is important and nothing gets in the way of that. And I wasn't always like that. Other people always came first.
The female weightlifters bring a good energy. There's like an aura about them where it's just like, they're confident because they know they're strong. They know that they can hold their own. Comparable to women that I've met that might just be, weekend warriors at the gym and do a Pilates class. It's fine, you're moving, so I'm happy for you. If you're running once a week, good, like you're moving. But you put those two women in the same room, and that aura will shine. Like you'll see it. Even the dainty, pretty, like everyday girl is gonna be like, damn, this chick. They see it, you feel it, and I think it brings confidence. There's more drive. I feel like a lot of those, a lot of the girls that I've met that lift, they're more goal driven, more clear, because they have an idea of what it takes to get something done and they want to do it, rather than just like, oh, I'll wing it or I'll get help. I mean, not all dudes are like that either, though. Like I've met dudes that don't lift that are just like, kind of suck, you're lazy. Like if you moved a bit, you'd probably feel better and be almost at the end of the day, it makes you a better person too.
You just have to step out of your comfort zone. But at the end of the day, lifting weights, it's pretty badass. Yeah, being strong is cool. It doesn't matter if you're short, tall, skinny, fat, chunky, no muscles, white, black, Mexican. Yeah, it's for everyone.
And show the world, I'm not afraid. If I can do that, I can do that. I mean, helping out people when they need help, and none of this thing, well, girls don't do that. It's like, no. You can do it, you do it. And there's a whole emotional thing that goes along with it when you're strong physically, like internally, even spiritually. I feel whole. And that's a good feeling. I feel confident. And yeah, taking care of yourself is important.
We have so many reasons why we shouldn't do something. But the truth is, like, I just truly believe that weightlifting, especially as a female, can positively impact your life, like, so clearly. I've seen it in my life, and then I've seen it in the lives of countless women that I've worked with, that I just don't think there's any reason that you should not do it. Now, don't get me wrong, there are obviously medical conditions and things like that, but I'm still willing to say there is a way. You know, it might not look the way that it does for everybody else, but there is a way to start lifting weights and moving your body and starting to get accustomed to that. And it doesn't have to look like the 18-year-old Olympic weightlifter, right? It can look very different than that. There's many different implements that you can use to do that. But I've never met somebody who's been like, I really regret doing this. I really regret investing in weightlifting. Like, I've never met anybody who said that. So my advice would be to find somebody you trust, start learning, and yeah, keep going, even when it's hard.